What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nintendo Power Block for, I don't know, the first week of September. I don't know what the date is. We're recording really early because I'm going on vacation. Whatever the Tuesday is.
August 29th.
Yeah, August 29th. Really? It's only the 29th? Oh, right, because Mario plus Rabbids comes out this
Yes.
day. It's out today. Yeah. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and
Yeah.
alongside me, as always, that retro code, Edward Varnell, still sick.
Hello, everybody. I might be down and out with my voice, but I'm always super pumped for Nintendo news and talking all about Nintendo.
Yes. Yes. Oh, man. All right.
Yes.
Ed, you said you played a lot of games today. Sort of.
Yes, I
What,
so
what'd you play? What'd you play
uh
today?
played a little bit more of Project X Zone 2. I think I'm gonna finish that first before Dragon Quest 8. Um Hopefully next week I'll be picking up Ever Oasis. I really want that game so bad. I'm ready to dive into that game. Uh, but I've been playing Ease Origins for PlayStation 4. I was stuck at this one point part trying to figure out what the heck to do, and they didn't explain it, but I did get for a little bit further. So I'm like probably one fourth done with that game. Uh, uh, Played a little bit of Mass Effect, Andromeda. Took about 3 steps and then paused and went to two for some unknown reason. But I will be playing more of that. But pretty much Project X Zone and E2 is what I've been playing. Went back to Horizon Zero Dawn. Doing it the new game plus on easy. I think I'm probably gonna end up finish this game quicker. And then like later on, I'm going to be hooking up my Wii U and getting some more Paper Mario Color Splash and Tokyo Mario into it. Get that started working on. Um, I'm getting to the point where I'm ready to finish my Wii U catalog and like play everything that I got for the system. Um, because I'm not saying that Xbox and PlayStation 4 don't got nothing to offer. Like I still got to pick up um the new Uncharted. Um, so hopefully when I get my Switch, I could get Rabbits and some other games and stuff. Sorry about that. Like Axiom Verge. But getting ready to like start working Wii U titles and getting them down, like some of the online one, because I really need to finish Monster Hunter Ultimate, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I really need to finish that, and I just have so much fun with that game. That's like my kind of like my Dark Souls, Bloodborne. That's easier to get into and just like rough fun with. And then after that, hopefully when I get my Wii U collection, be finishing up some old Xbox One games. And I'm thinking of like kind of doing a list of not when I brought them, but when all of them been released, and then just working on with that. It's like I have Witcher 3 on Xbox One and PS4, but I want to be able to get through those games like quickly. Because I just have a desire to play a lot of role playing games, and I want to get that stuff done. But what about you, Corey? What's been up? What you been playing?
Uh, I mean, I haven't really played anything since we recorded the last time. I mean, I'm
Hmm.
I'm still trying to beat Horizon. I'm like, when this goes up, I'll be on vacation, but I'm really gonna try to beat it before vacation. I think I'm only a couple hours away, uh, but we'll see. I played a little bit of Fire Emblem Heroes on my phone during break today, and
Oh, nice.
I still really like that game. I don't play it often because I usually have my 3DS with me if I want to play Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
So I'll just usually play it on that. But I mean, when I'm at work, I only had like I don't know, 20 minutes today break to eat, and I was just like scrolling, and I couldn't find anything that I wanted to read or listen to or anything. So I
Hmm.
I just played some Fire Emblem, and it's still really good. I mean, it's Fire Emblem. It's really basic Fire Emblem, but still Fire Emblem. Still plays well. Uh, I had a bunch of orbs for some reason from all these events that I missed, so I bought some character packs, and I got some 3 and 4 star heroes that I'm gonna start using. Uh, but I really like it. It's a really well made phone game, and it's a really generous free to play game. You can spend money on orbs and stuff if you want, but it's it's a very generous game, and I think Nintendo could have been a little bit more aggressive about you being able to purchase stuff. But
Yeah.
they are really generous. So uh, the summer event just happened, and there's a bunch of costumes that were kind of uncharacteristic of Nintendo. I'm just gonna put it that way. But
Mm.
I've been listening to the What's Good Games podcast. It's a bunch
Uh-huh.
of girls who used to work at websites and stuff in the industry and are now doing their own kind of uh, Patreon startup type thing. And it's a really good podcast,
I think
actually. What?
I think I seen that on Twitter.
Yeah,
I know there was a girl group who just like started their podcast.
yeah. And so that I actually really really like that show. Uh, we can talk about reasons later, but like they they call Fire Emblem Heroes the the horny casino, Nintendo's horny casino after the summer event, and I was like, well, I mean it's anime and there's a lot of female characters, so like I'm sure there's some semi suggestive costumes just because of that, but
Yeah.
it's Nintendo. I'm sure some of it's going to be censored, at least a little bit, at least here. No, no. There's yeah. I mean, if you guys, if you listeners are looking, want to look it up, you can look it up. But there's like string bikini costumes.
Some busty babes.
Yeah. There's one costume where the one chick is like wearing this string bikini and she's holding watermelons next to her boobs, and it's really disturbing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why do those watermelons look so small? So, and it goes both ways too, though, because like the guy characters are like, it's just they're just ripped and they have like, uh, you know,
Swimming trunks.
yep, that's yep, and some of the areas of the swimming trunks are bulgy, but that's yeah, it's. I mean,
Well,
I mean, I,
well,
I I'm I'm
because
I'm I'm kind of glad Nintendo's just like leaning into the audience that wants it. But it was just something. It was just really weird for me to
yeah.
like. It was just really weird to see something published by Nintendo with all this in it because like I don't know. It was just weird. It not that I'm like against it. It's just like oh because they took the sliders out of
Well,
Xenoblade
it's
when you're creating a female character in Xenoblade X, and like they took
yeah.
this the
Uh-huh.
the sliders out to make like the chest region bigger or smaller for the American version of the game, and it was just
Mhm.
surprising to see that here. So
Well, it's a cultural thing with Nintendo Japan than it is here. You know, we'll see stuff like that, and we may not get it from that company, even though sometimes we're able to handle it. But they think of kids also, and they think of business of them being a family friendly company here in America. Uh, we take stuff like that and do fan art. And depending on sites that you go, there's some art that's very risky, I should say. So definitely see it in the actual video game. Definitely with Nintendo of America, just being like, okay, this, you know, you guys know what it's at. We know some of you are otakus and people who are really into. Hey, we know you guys can handle this stuff. I think it's really cool that they do it. Definitely with the summer editions. Of course, they're gonna have ridiculous swimsuits, and trucks. Of course, things are gonna be exaggerated. It's anime. It's part of the culture. Um, some of it might be a little bit too much, but it's a major step for Nintendo because, like you said, they are heavily in, with their censorship, because they're just thinking about their business and, have uh they gotta have something. I cannot think of it where they protect. Um, starts with an R. Can't think of it right now. Well, they gotta kind of protect their identity and their business and their reputation. That's it. They gotta protect their reputation by making sure that things are censored and just done right. But allowing this freedom for Fire Emblem Heroes on mobile, I think that's cool. Mix. Um, maybe in the future, I always feel like Nintendo America should release two versions. Like, I think they should release a sister version and an unsister version. Where the unsister version, you you have a My Nintendo account, and your Nintendo account has to be at a certain age in order to buy that game. And if you can't just be like changing your age just to buy it and stuff, because they're gonna be like, well, you're 13 years old now, you jumped up to 17. That's kind of questionable, like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
it just caught me off guard because the first pack I opened was this like, you know, and I know it's a cultural thing, and like I'm glad Nintendo's kind of letting up the reins a little bit on this stuff. Like it's not like it's not like I want like boobs slamming up against my TV screen or anything. It's not like
right?
that kind of stuff. It's just not only like this stuff, but the stuff that they're doing, with Minecraft and doing crossplay and in Rocket League and all these other things, playing nice with the other consoles and PC, like and Fire Emblem Heroes 2 is like it's showing that Nintendo is kind of I guess quote getting with the times and like catching up and really kind of letting loose a little bit. There's still some issues, and they're still like treating some of their products differently, like the Super Nintendo fiasco. I'm not worried because I feel like they've made it clear that there's going to be more stock. They're just trying to do pre-orders, like whatever, but it really shows that they're kind of letting up the reins. They're not really protecting kids as much as they used to. Like, they're seeing that an adult audience wants Nintendo, and you have to
Yes.
cater to your audience. And a lot of the 16 to 24-year-old demographic is really into this type of stuff, like the anime stuff and that what we're seeing in Fire Emblem Heroes, and even like the older demographic too, the 24 to I guess what 35 would be the next demographic, like that people want this kind of stuff, and it's not because they want to go like hide in the bathroom for 20 minutes to play this game. It's just part of the culture, and they want to experience the culture. It's why so many people want to take trips to Japan. It's why they want to experience the culture, and letting some of the embracing the Japanese culture is really good for Nintendo. So
I think for a lot of people here in America, though, is that you gotta you kind of gotta, and I think people you should look at books and listen to podcasts. You gotta understand the anime culture, and you gotta understand why certain anime, like the penny anime, is and stuff like that. Why males and sometimes some females dig that kind of stuff, and why it's important when they show it shown in America that is uncensored. Now hentai is completely something different. Um, That's a whole nother subject, and we're gonna keep it kind of a little bit PC um here on the show. But if you don't understand the references and you don't understand why designers and creators put their characters in these outfits and stuff, you won't understand why people in America who are big anime fans want that. You know,
Yeah.
the dude bros are never gonna get it. They're gonna be like, why is this big titty girl or big boy guy like with the hairy chest and stuff? Why is this so important? You know.
Hmm. Yeah. Uh, yeah. But I mean, that's what I've been playing,
So
and it's still really good. And I really like the Fire Emblem characters a lot, and especially because Fire Emblem Awakening, I got a 4-star Lucina today, and I was pretty excited. Lucina is one of my favorite Fire Emblem characters, and it took me I mean, since the game came out, I've been playing off and on uh, since it came out, less more recently, but like finally got a Lucina, and it got me really into the game again because I'm like I get to use one of my favorite characters, and so it's a good time. It's I like it.
yeah.
So I mean, it's free if you have a smartphone. You should download it. It's free. It's fun. So
Now Nintendo give me a 2D beat 'em up side scroller. I love Warriors. I'm picking it up, but I want to play Chrome with his sword, and I want to beat folks up.
yes, yes.
So
Well, Ed, you want to get into some of the news since we recorded yesterday? There's a little bit of news that we can report on. Uh, I'm actually really excited when you messaged me this. I was like, "What? I'm into this." So, anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
yes, everybody. So if you have been catching up with the news by the time you guys watch this podcast, uh, Secret of Mana is getting a remake, but it's not coming to Switch. This game is going to be out in February 2018, going to be on PS4 and PS Vita. And I was telling Corey that even though we're not getting it for Switch, I am happy that the remake is happening. The map that they're using, like their mini map, is the Super Nintendo version of the game. Um, Hopefully, with this remake that they put in the missing content because in the regular Secret of Mana, people didn't know that it was for the the Super PlayStation, which was going to be the Super Nintendo's uh, CD attachment that they were working with on Sony. So Secret of Mana was going to be a part of that, where it's going to have animated cutscenes, voice acting, and there was going to be extra parts in the dungeons. But because those plans fell through, Secret of Mana on Super Nintendo, a lot of that got cut. So that's why if you have played it and you go into some rooms and it's kind of blocked off and it's empty, that was the missing content. So definitely with this remake, they'll be able to add uh they'll definitely be able to add that portion. So I'm hopefully they're doing it. I'm definitely picking it up as a day one purchase overnight. I believe the engine, the way that it looks like they're using like Lost Sphere and the other
I have
indie
Setsuna.
game that they use, I have Setsuna. Yeah, it looks like they're using that engine, but this is one that's going to be a top down action adventure game role play. I don't know if they're how they're doing the magic to this game, because on Super Nintendo you had to freeze and pause the game to use the magic. You had to keep doing it over and over to level up that magic. Um, the orbs that you get, those orbs will they'll tell you what weapon they go to. So you'll go to the you'll go and get that orb for that weapon and get it infused so that when you level up up that weapon, you'll be able to do that special attack when you hold. So yeah, the blacksmith. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how if they add anything new or how it's going to look. They showed a little bit of the gameplay, but they haven't shown like I don't know how far development they are, because it is kind of a 25 hour game on the Super Nintendo, but I don't know for this one if they're going to extend it longer with side quests and things of that nature.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it looks really
So,
good. I think it looks really good. It reminds me of the art style that they've been using for Dragon Quest the last
hmm
few games. I wish this game was coming to Switch, and like I think it might come eventually. It's just right now they're like, hey, we're focusing on PlayStation platforms and what Steam, I think they said. So uh,
hmm
I think
and don't
I
and
just
don't forget
oh
we
sorry
got a lot of. Oh, go ahead, Corey.
no
No, go ahead.
I wasn't really gonna say anything. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to add that there is a lot of Square Enix games coming to Switch. And I know they said they got something still major to announce. We talked about last week's show about Final Fantasy 15, and we don't know if that's going to be on mobile or anything. So we're still waiting on that announcement. We're getting Lost Sphere. We're still waiting for the announcement if we're going to get this Setsun Seku collection, which is pretty much the Secret of Mana collection. We don't know if we're getting that. It could come down the line. It literally could be like, okay, we got exclusively on PS4, and here for the summer in June at E3, they could announce that Secret of Mana remake on Switch, and it could just be like a downloadable title. I don't know if it's going to be physical just yet or how much it's going to cost for PlayStation and Vita. But I'm super stoked. I'm really and I was telling Moose and Jason that Sony won February 2018 by getting Secret of Mana. And Moose hit me back and said, yeah, it's coming to Vita also, and I think that's a very smart move.
hmm
This is a game that I'm not mad of whatever console get it. Like even like Okami HD coming to one and PS4. I'm just glad that it's coming out. Definitely for Xbox players who never picked it up to give this game a try. I think Okami HD and Secret of Mana are phenomenal games, and no matter if it don't come to Switch or not, it's a game that deserves to be in your library and that deserves to be played. So hopefully you Nintendo listeners, if you got a PlayStation 4, hopefully you are ready to pick this game up or willing to give it a chance.
Yeah, did you see this collector's edition? This collector's edition looks really cool.
Of which
Of Secret of Mana.
uh uh
It comes with an art book, a pop up, like a kid's pop up book, three figurines of the main characters, a soundtrack, and DVD, a Blu-ray of where is it? I think it's like a documentary thing.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's like what like $150 I think. I don't know.
So,
It looks really cool.
probably.
I mean, it looks really cool, but uh, yeah, the pop-up book is cool though. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think I would be surprised if this game wasn't ported to Switch at some point. But I mean, if you own a PlayStation, I'd go ahead and get it now. So
I hope you could change the colors of Flammy. I like him yellow. I don't like the version of him. No disrespect or anything. He just doesn't look right. Uh, look goodness. He looks better yellow um from the Super Nintendo one, but or golden I should say. But yeah.
yeah,
So we got more news. There's just tons of game announcements it like I was telling Corey, it feels like every day there's a new announcement being announced. And there are a lot of indies for Switch that's being announced and that's coming out. There will be more physical games coming out, like cartridge games, in the future. So we're just waiting for those announcements to come out. Um, but for this one, Moon Hunters bring mystical Mesopotamian multiplayer mayhem to Switch. And if if you think of like a pixelated bit um how to like Drifter, if you think of it that way, um uh, uh this is what that is, but it's a multiplayer action role playing game. It is available for PS4. I have played it and I have had a ton of fun. They announced it today actually on uh August 25th, that they announced it. So you guys can check it out. The game launched on Steam last year, but the Switch version will include the Eternal Echoes DLC. Which features the Snow Dancer player character, the One Voice Village, snow biome, new enemies, and over a dozen new random encounters, as well as three exclusive new companions to find it in the world. Bao, B-A-U, the familiar dog, Lingzi, or Ling's High, the familiar Stroom, and Dumavo, the familiar snow monkey. So, um, this will be adding more kind of more content to this game. So, if you guys are interested, you can check out the video on YouTube, or if you played it on PlayStation 4 and Steam, um, this would definitely, if you guys got a Switch, would definitely be a good game to go. You can meet up with folks and play, play it old school style and having fun.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah. But Tecmo, oh my goodness, what the heck did Tecmo do? Man, Tecmo
Announced
Kobe,
every Warriors game they ever had coming to Switch.
yes. So this comes from Nintendo Life. To mark Omega Force's 20th birthday, publisher Kobe Tecmo is releasing some of the most famous entries in the War series on the Nintendo Switch. On November 9th, the Switch will be getting Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires, Samurai Warriors Spirit of Sonata, and Warriors Orochi in both digital and physical form. These titles are all confirmed for Japan at present, but given the popularity of the franchise in the West, we hope that localization will be forthcoming. So it is only going to be on Japan for right now, but Kobe Tecmo has so well with Hybrid Warriors. They're doing the Fire Emblem Warriors that's probably going to also sell well. So it's a no-brainer that Kobe Tecmo, which is, done good business with Nintendo. They have been getting a lot of praise with Nintendo, that they will bring those games here to the West. I would love to play these games on the go. One level could actually take my whole train ride to Indiana, and I'm like, oh, I'm done with the level. Oh, I'm getting ready to go see Larry. And then probably 3 or 4 levels will be the same thing when I go see Corey. But hopefully they do bring it over to America. It would be such a cool game, such a
Yeah.
cool thing.
Yeah.
But good on Kobe Tecmo. Congratulations to them on 20 years on on the Mega Force series.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm probably gonna get most of, if not all of them, because like I am excited for Fire Emblem Wars, and those games are just fun to just mess around in and just kind of like if you it's I mean they're dumb, they're not like super deep or anything, but it's fun to go in and like be like, oh, I'm one dude and I'm taking out 100 guys right now, and so I mean it's really
Yes.
fun. So I'm probably gonna get one or two of them. So I just gotta decide which one it is. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yes. Yes. Awesome. Um, Moving on to the next game gotta announce. The bridge will bring MC Escher's inspired puzzles to the Switch soon. The bridge was a surprisingly fun experience when it was released on the Wii U eShop back in 2015 to critical acclaim. For some reason, I've never heard of this game.
Yeah, I've never heard of it
But
either.
it's a 2D logic puzzle game. Yeah, the game is a 2D puzzle game that forces the player to reevaluate their preconceptions of physics and perspective. The folks over at the Quantum Astrophysics Guild are now bringing the bridge to the Switch. It will be available to download on September 9th for if you guys live in Europe, £8.99, and here in America, I think it's $9.99. The bridge identifies game as an art form with beautifully hand-drawn art in the style of a black and white lithograph. Did you miss the bridge for summer? Oh, that, and then just ask that question. Yeah, I missed it. The way that it looks, it kind of has a cut vibe to it, but it looks like you may have to move the world around to solve it. I'm definitely gonna check it out on YouTube to see a video of it. But I just didn't hear it on Wii U. But I'm down. I love puzzle games. I'm down for picking this one up. Which
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'll probably be checking it out too. I missed it on Wii U. Like I kind of want to check this out like on a YouTube or something now. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like I should know what this game is, and I don't. And it's bothering me. So, oh man. Well, Ed, is there any more news?
Yes, there's just two more stories. Azure Striker Gunvolt and a
Yes.
sequel that where standouts on 3DS eShop, but the Striker Pack is coming to Nintendo Switch eShop, but it's also coming in cartridge form. So I'm super excited about this. It seems that I think is this the one that they put both games together? I think Azure Striker Gunvolt and the sequel. I think this is it. That they put them together, and now I think both games are coming to Switch on one cartridge. There is no price yet, and I don't see a release, but they said that there's no Switch tax, so the cart is going to cost the same as the digital. So you guys would be able to check that out. I picked up the first one on my 3DS, and I haven't picked up the second one yet. But now that they're coming to Switch, I'm definitely going to get the Striker Pack.
Yeah, I have both of them on 3DS, and I got the new one, Mighty Gun Volt Burst, which is really good, and it's only $10. If you don't own it already on Switch, you should spend the $10 and play it because it's awesome. It's like Mega Man but with RPG elements and a ton of customization. So you should check it out. And Beck from Mighty Number 9 is in it, and it's probably the game Mighty Number 9 should have been. Honestly,
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's really, really, really good. And like these games were really good on 3DS too. But like every time I played one on my 3DS, I'm like this art style is so good. I wish I could play it on my TV. And now that it's coming to Switch, I'll be able to play it in HD, either in handheld mode or on the TV. And like, I can't wait to see this art style in HD because it's so cool and it's really, really good. It's got a real Mega Man X vibe to it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I think everybody should check this out for real. And I am pretty excited it's getting a physical cart. I wasn't expecting that because they had already announced it, and then just like a week, like this past week, they announced, hey, it's out on the 31st of August, and you're getting a physical cart too. And I'm just like, oh,
See, and when I was talking to you, I didn't know that they were bringing it to Switch. I only just knew it from a 3DS.
Yeah, when was it? It was like after E3, maybe like 2 weeks after E3, they had already announced the 3DS version. They said, "Yeah, we're working on a Switch port too."
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay. I'm so much was going through E3
oh, I
that
know there's
you
so
know
much. I mean, I'm sure we both missed a ton of stuff still,
missed it.
but
Yes. Uh, but everybody who's been keeping up with the news, Gamescom 2017 seems that it came to an end. Like it's closing up. There might still be news coming out. I don't know if they still have any more days and stuff. But congratulations to Super Mario Odyssey. It walked away with a lot of Gamescom's award. It actually won Best Console Game for Nintendo Switch. It beat out FIFA 18 and Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It got Best Action Game, which beat out Call of Duty World War II, Destiny 2, Mirror League, Star Wars Battlefront 2. It won Best Family Game, which beat Anki Overdrive, Fast and Furious Edition, Lego Marvel Super Heroes 2, Life is Strange, Nino Kuni 2. Also, Metroid Samus Return won Best Mobile Game. It beat out Danger Mouse, the Danger Games. Um, and also Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle walked away with the Best Strategy Games award. And they actually went up against Age of Empires, Ancestors, Total War, Warhammer 2, and Tropico 6. You guys can check out more of the awards at metro.co.uk to actually get a list, or any website that posted a list right there. But yeah, congratulations to Nintendo and Super Mario Odyssey for winning all those awards. It also took Best of Gamescom and Most Wanted Consumer Award. For 2017. So that's amazing. That's awesome. So congratulations to, like I said, Nintendo and to Super Mario Odyssey and the teams
I mean,
working on that game.
Nintendo's really cleaning up, man. They're having a good year. Nintendo is having a some would say a banner year. You know, they're killing it. So
Yeah.
I mean, in most places, I'm sure Zelda will be winning Game of the Year almost single handedly. You know, I really do feel that way. Like, the only people that probably aren't going to vote for it as Game of the Year are the people who haven't played it. I'm
Yes.
like, I know there's a few people that aren't really into the open world aspect of Zelda and kind of wanted to go back to the linear kind of style it was. And, like, you know, I could see them doing that at some point, but you know, I think like this is the best Zelda. I think that this is my favorite Zelda game, and this is probably one of if not my favorite game of all time. Like, I absolutely love this game.
It's one of my favorite games of all time. I agree 100% with you. I know there's going to be a battle between Horizon and Breath of the Wild. Um,
Hmm.
And so when we have that game of the year discussion, we'll probably be bringing up points. But I have to say, it's gonna go to Breath of the Wild, because guess what? We are ever since that game has been released, people are still talking and playing Breath of the Wild. People are still picking it up. I think
Well, people are
Horizon
still
was
trying
just
to find Switches, and people, you know, people who don't have Switches and skipped Wii U haven't played it yet. Like,
yeah,
I think that works to the game's benefit. Is like in its case to win Game of the Year is because like people are still like people will be getting Switches the next couple months, and the first game they're going to pick up probably is Zelda. You know, until Mario comes out, like Zelda is the killer app for the Switch, and like
yeah.
I think that helps people continue the conversation about this game. That people are still playing it. People are just starting it now. People will be starting it in a month, 2 months, 3 months down the road, Christmas time.
And I feel bad for Horizon because it got stuck as a February game, and anyone who wants to talk about it, or anyone who wants to replay it, they have to wait to the DLC to find interest back into that game. That didn't happen with Breath of the Wild. Yeah, you could talk about the problems with the season pass and everything, but people were still finding stuff in just the main game and discussing it. And when you have it, when a game does that, where the discussion and the gameplay is still going on, that leads to reasons on why it's game of the year.
Hmm.
You know, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be a battle. And I must just say this: if Horizon wins Game of the Year for 2017 over Zelda, or if they tie, or vice
Well,
versa,
I'm sure they'll both win their fair share of Game of the Year awards.
yeah,
Like I
I
I can't see honestly any other game unless Mario is the greatest Mario game. Like those are the three games I could see like really battling it for Game of the Year. Like I
yes,
mean, I see potential in Mario Odyssey, but
hmm
I don't think just the way Zelda presented itself and the way it was handled and the way it came out, launching with a new system, people still picking it up, people still playing it, like Mario's not going to have that conversation. Just because like
right.
there will be an install base at that point. There will be, you know, people like I don't really know how to explain it, but it's just not going to have the conversation that Zelda has had. Which you
But
know,
people,
which sucks because like I'm sure Mario's going to be great and Horizon's great. But at the same time, PlayStation's been out for 4 years and you can find one every year everywhere, whereas,
mhm.
people are still trying to find Switches and this is the game they're buying with it.
And Nintendo, I can actually say that Nintendo has been good stocking stores with a lot of Switches, and so it's been, people feel like it's been slowing down, but it's been at a steady pace. People be like, "Oh, you guys got a Switch?" They come in and they buy it,
Hmm.
you know, and that's good. When it comes to Super Mario Odyssey, when that game comes out and we have that discussion about it. And probably for Game of the Year, we'll have that discussion. It's going to I see it as this: Zelda changed a whole genre, and that delay did it justice, and it's the highest rated game in 2017.
Hmm.
You know, Super Mario Odyssey is probably going to be doing the same thing. And if it ties up if it ties up with Zelda, um, I'll be fine with that. If it ties up with Horizon, I'll be fine with that. But we will see what happens when the game releases. We'll see the ratings. We'll see how well it sells, or how much stock, if it does the attachment rate that Zelda did, yeah, then Odyssey is a very big contender for Game of the Year.
Hmm.
Um, and I know we haven't we might be talking a lot about Game of the Year, but 2017 has just been a stellar year across all the boards. I don't care if people want to say Xbox One didn't have nothing or anything like that. I'm like, there's been some great content on Xbox One too, so you cannot deny that. There's been great exciting content on PS4 and Vita. It's been great content on Switch and 3DS, and even with the last bit of Wii U, there's just been great content. I
Yeah.
think the two hardest discussions we're going to have is what's the top indie game of 2017, and what is the uh who wins Game of the Year? Zelda, if Super Mario Odyssey does it, or if Horizon. Like, those three are going to be the same. I can't add Persona 5 because you have to be a certain kind of RPG fan, and you have to be a fan of that series end of Atlas to understand why that game is good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sorry, everybody, you can't put Overwatch as Game of the Year. There's no way. Yeah, they
I mean,
updated the content,
it's
but
already it's
it
already out though. It came out last year.
right. Well, you know how VGAs, how they did of like The Witcher 3, and I'm just like,
Uh,
how in the heck did that win an award? And that's been out.
I know.
I'm like, you awarded the DLC. I'm like, that shouldn't count. So, the VGAs we just make fun of anyway. I just like reading to Twitter. But it's going to be a big discussion,
Yeah.
and we'll probably have the top 50 games of 2017, but it might actually be longer than that.
Yeah. I
So
mean, here's the thing. When I, out of all the games, all the AAA like strong titles that came out this year, if like
yeah,
Mass Effect Andromeda is the worst game that came out this year so far, it's a pretty good year, because like I
yes.
mean, Mass Effect Andromeda, what I played, like I still want to go back to it eventually, was good.
Mhm.
Or okay, I mean it had some issues, but it's a good game. It's not the original trilogy by any stretch of the imagination, but it is still a good game. But then you have like
Yes.
Neo, Near, Gravity Rush 2, which I'm going to start after Horizon, and I'm super stoked to play it. I actually have it sitting right here on my desk. Finally got it
Yeah,
today.
I'm gonna look for your Gravity Rush for PS4. We didn't have it at my job, so but I'm gonna look for it around here. I know someone has it, and I know it's not gonna be expensive as it is online. So I got you, man.
Yeah, I found one about a half hour from here at GameStop used, and it's $50. But I mean I don't know if I'm gonna be able to snag it or not. But like the Horizon, Zelda, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Arms, Splatoon 2, Halo Wars 2, even like I mean, there's so many decent games that came out this year, and it's just like,
Right.
how is this fall gonna beat it? And somehow, like we still have 5 months to go for 4.5 months of games to
And
go.
we still got Project Scorpio. Not Project Scorpio. We got Xbox One X, coming out. And who knows, those games may those games may grab traction for that system if done right.
I know.
We haven't even got a chance to touch Destiny 2 yet. Uh but if Destiny 2 is somewhat satisfactory and surpasses what one did, that's going to be a big contender
Yeah.
for probably for a multiplayer shooter. We still got a lot, like you said, we got a lot of ways to go for this year. And uh, I do want to say though that, like you said, Mass Effect Andromeda being the worst, I want to say it's the worst game of the year. It's very mediocre, but even a mediocre game can take Game of the Year, can be nominated, can still show some promise. Um, we haven't even talked about a company who made a big comeback, and it's gonna be between Capcom and Konami. Look what Capcom did with Resident Evil 7. And look what Konami did with Super Bomberman R. People who hated Konami because of what they did to Kojima went out and brought Super Bomberman R, and it might be average or decent, but it showed promise that Konami needs to bring their old school games back to Nintendo so they can start making profit. They
Hmm.
don't have to now rely on Metal Gear. Resident Evil 7 was a big gamble to change the format because all the over the shoulder action pack, style of Resident Evil 4 just being, repurposed and with a different splash of paint, that was getting bored. That
Hmm.
was getting boring, and it just was no good no more. So for them to bring that first person and those scares and stuff, that's good for Capcom. A lot of people really discussed it. So the Japanese comeback between Capcom and Konami, that's going to be big. That
Hmm.
really is going to be. Now, Microsoft might get crap this year because of what they did with Platinum and Scalebound, but I wouldn't say that that was too bad of a situation. It was just a big letdown that things didn't work out with them.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But hey,
I'm
oh, go
just
ahead.
I'm really excited for a lot of stuff that's coming out. Specifically, like Nintendo is there's so much coming out.
Yes.
I just I just back to Zelda. I don't know how long it's going to be before I play another game like that. Like I keep saying on this show and our other shows and every other chance I get to be on someone else's show, I'm just like Zelda. Like I hadn't felt a way about a game like that I felt about Zelda since Mario 64. Like that's how much like this game has changed the way I view how maybe a game should be played. And like I'm not saying Zelda's perfect because it's not. I did have some issues with it, but at the same
Hmm.
time, like this was their first crack at an open world game. Like this was a solid foundation. It's the same thing I say about Horizon, right? It's like this is their first crack at this type of game. This is an
Yes.
amazing foundation for Horizon and Zelda. These are amazing foundations. What's this next step going to look like? How are these games going to change? And like, what are they going to add to these games to make them just like blow us out of the water again? You know, and
Right.
like Zelda, what I would personally change would be like I kind of miss the old dungeons. Like I don't necessarily need them to be in order, but like I did feel like the divine beasts were kind of like the weakest part of the game just because they all had the same gimmick. You had to alter the map physically to change the dungeon
Hmm.
layout so you can make your way through, right? And like that was a cool idea, but maybe only use that on one dungeon and maybe just insert some other cool puzzles because like Zelda
Yes.
like that team is the master at making environmental puzzles and the
Yes.
shrines show that, right? But maybe incorporate some of that design into your dungeons the next time.
It's for me. It was just like they looked at Link Between Worlds, took that as a blueprint, and expounded on that greatly. Uh, the dungeons, yes, they did remove, but I think if they do bring those dungeons and those mini dungeons that's separated from the shrines and the guardian beasts and stuff, I think each I think each dungeon and stuff or mini dungeon can tell a story of
Yeah.
that world that Link is in. So I mean they still have ideas, and they know that with freedom people will make their own way on how to play the game,
Yeah.
and still drop in those little knickknacks and stuff that people could still go out in that world and find you know
Yeah. Yeah. I 100% agree with you. Um
Right.
but yeah, I it's going to be interesting to see how this fall plays out. I'm really excited to get my hands on Xenoblade and Fire Emblem and
Yes.
a lot of these indie games, a lot of these secondary games. Like there's I mean there's this video going around that GameSpot posted or GameSpot? Yeah, GameSpot posted of there's this game called the first one's already out on PlayStation called Bride of Azure or something. And
Uh-huh.
it's a JRPG kind of like something that NIS or someone like that would publish
Yeah.
here.
XC.
Yeah, it kind of looks like one of those games. And they posted a video that just said swimsuit warriors and it was all these anime girls fighting like RPG but in like skimpy bikinis and stuff.
Hmm.
But like I've been looking at what RPGs are coming to Switch, and this RPG actually has a lot of deep mechanics, and the first game actually got really good reviews. So like I'm semi interested in this game, uh, And then there was what was the other one that I was interested in? That it's not Nintendo published. It's shoot, what was the other game?
Lost Sphere.
No, because I know I'm getting that specifically. I gotta check my Switch checklist that I have made here. Um,
Yes. And once again, Corey, thank you for that message of all the games. I'm just like, good night.
yeah, those are
I'm gonna be broke.
that list I sent you was like the games I'm trying to follow. At least, even if I don't buy them right off the bat, like those are games I'm following this year. And there's probably what 25, 30 games on that list alone.
Hmm.
Uh, but what was that game? I can't find it. But anyways,
Was it the one by THQ Nordic that
uh,
Nintendo's helping them on?
what game? What game's that? Wait, what game is that?
Um,
Are you talking about Battle Chasers?
I think so. Yeah.
Uh, I don't know if Nintendo's helping them with it, but I am really interested in Battle Chasers. It's by the guy who created Darksiders. He did the main develop. He was the lead creator of Darksiders 1 and 2, and then
Yeah.
most of that team left during the THQ buyout thing that happened a couple years ago and formed their own studio. And they're not obviously not working on Darksiders anymore, but they are doing Battle Chasers, and it's like a isometric top-down RPG. Looks really cool.
Yeah.
So that game looks awesome. Man, I can't find this other game. It's really bothering me. I think I forgot to write it down. I forgot to write it down. No.
Oh.
But anyways, did you see the new footage of Xenoblade 2?
I heard of it. I didn't get to check
They
it out. I
showed
know it's
they
at
showed off
Gamescom.
they showed off like 25 more minutes at Gamescom about
I'm
like the different party members you can have in your party. One of the guys is like this big like tanky guy. He looks really cool looking, and like he looks like he does a lot of damage, but the way the battle system works, he's kind of slow, but he deals a lot of damage. Man, I Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is just every time I see it, I can't believe that game is running on a Nintendo console. Every time I see it,
Yeah.
and they always make sure to show like either a giant monster flying through the environment, or they show that giant mountain monster move across the screen, or they show the city in the sky flying through the clouds. Like they always show something that they are making sure to tell you that, hey, this isn't your typical Switch game. This game is huge. We have a lot of moving parts in this game, and you're gonna love it. I'm just like, every time I see it, I'm just like, how are you building this game for this device? Oh, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. And if you guys don't buy Xenoblade Chronicles 2, shame on you.
Oh,
Slap
there,
slap.
there is a story that we definitely gonna have to talk about. It might not be long, but did you see the story about the House Republicans posted about what the American tax code and the Legend of Zelda have in common?
Oh yeah, I saw that. I didn't read it because I don't want to, give them the kind of the time of day, but
Okay, but this is the weird thing. So they said that the only thing they have in common is the date, the year that they came out. And they were trying to use it as a way to get people to, vote for the tax code or do something, like getting people involved and stuff. The problem with all of this is that, and they took the story down, that even though Zelda and the tax code came out in 1986, they wrote that 1 year before when Nintendo came out as a business in 1985. And they started in 1889.
yeah,
They got the
yeah, I saw that.
they got and I was just like, wait, you guys try to use a video game to not only justify your agenda, But you got the company who made the game wrong.
Yeah,
Like y'all
it's
didn't do no kind of research.
yeah, it's just like it's so stupid. Yeah, yeah,
Dude, everybody on Twitter and Facebook, they dragged them down to the point they took it down and they did not post it up, but everybody still got screenshots posting about what they said.
yeah. It's yeah. That's just that. I mean, if you're gonna like do that, do your research, man. Just do your research. But I found that game I was looking for, by the way. It's
What
a
is it?
it's a tactical RPG called Prodigy. It was kickstarted a couple years ago, and they've got enough backers, and they eventually found a publisher. Uh, it's a tactical RPG in the vein of like Final Fantasy Tactics, uh,
Uh-huh.
and there's a single player campaign, and then you can take your armies online and battle other people, which is a cool twist on that genre. So uh, it's really cool. There's actually two campaigns. There's the Sorcerer Kings and the Free People, and you can choose which side you want. You can either be the Sorcerer Kings look like the bad guys because the Free People are runaway slaves and soldiers who escaped the Sorcerer Kings to build a rebellion against the Sorcerer Kings. You can play either side and either capture the slaves to I guess re-slave them or something. But or you can play as the rebellion and overthrow the Sorcerer Kings. Um, so it looked really cool. It has it does have figures similar to Disney Infinity and Skylanders, but
Uh-huh.
they're not mandatory. Uh, so it looks pretty cool. It kind of has a painterly art style. Uh, but yeah, that was the other game I was looking for. It's not coming out till next year, apparently, but still looks really cool. So
What the heck? Switch saves GameStop. It seems that Nintendo Switch has boosted GameStop into the positive.
yeah, I know. I saw that. I saw that. GameStop is kind of it's the first time their uh, earnings have increased in like what does it say, like a couple years or something,
Yeah.
and it increased 14% over this period last year because the Switch came out. Man,
Wow.
and like man, I don't even want to say anything. You know how I up the ups and downs of my GameStop's experiences lately.
Oh yeah. We've had discussions about that.
And it sucks because I like the people there. I like, the people that I deal with, the most of them. Like,
Right.
well, the three main people I deal with I like, and I go there because of them. But GameStop as a whole just really, like, I don't know. They need to do something different, and they need to evolve their pro players program. They need to do something because Best Buy and Amazon are like eating their lunch in terms of new game sales and
Hmm.
pre-ordering and stuff like that. And I mean that's like their whole business almost. I mean they've branched out into like Game Trust and Think Geek and stuff like
Thinking.
that. But
Yeah.
it's just, man, they
Can I give a shout out to Gamers and Geeks Chris Kiku Kubiak. He did do a little report on GameStop.
mhm.
So do check that video out on YouTube on gamersandgeeks.com. I might have got it wrong. But check them out.
I think it's the other way around. Geeks and
Geeks and
Gamers.
Gamers.
Yeah.
Dot com. I knew I got something wrong. Check out their daily news. Chris Kiku Kubiak, he kills it. His thing about GameStop was hilarious. I about them fell out laughing. But watch that video, you guys. Do check them out and subscribe to them on YouTube. So shout out to them.
Yeah, he's a good dude. We need to have him either. We need to get him back on something with us because he's a good dude, and he's put so much work into that uh the website and his videos, and he's he's doing good work, and I'm actually really proud of him.
Yes.
He's done a lot, and even with him having a baby and him being able to manage all that and still be this successful at what he's doing is like, man, I need to take notes or something because he's doing it right, man. So you should check out Super News on Geeks and Gamers, either on their YouTube page or their website. It's really good. So uh it's funny because we actually I didn't know he was doing that video,
Yeah.
and we were recording NGR. We had the same exact discussion that he was talking about. And as
Uh,
soon as we were done recording, he posted the video, or he had posted the video while we were recording. And I wish he would have been on that episode when we were talking about GameStop
exactly.
because it was so perfect, but anyways, if you're watching this on Tuesday or something, check out our latest episode of NGR as well, because we talked a little bit about GameStop and kind of the frustrations that I have been experiencing, because Matt and Moose is pretty much all digital at this point, but Matt kind of orders everything through Amazon. So which is something that I've been doing lately, except that my GameStop pre-order list is kind of long, and I don't want to have to go in there and cancel stuff, and I want those
Right.
freaking amiibos, and
Right.
so
I mean, I still go to GameStop and I buy games, mostly the used games. So they got some good deals. And like I said, because I do my other show, Optional Opinion, I sometimes buy games out of research and I play them so I can have them for a good discussion and stuff. And sometimes if they're still if they're too expensive in the store and they're cheaper at GameStop, because even like DMC, Never May Cry, like it was cheaper on Xbox One, where the PlayStation 4 version was still expensive. And I'm just like, I'm like, I played this game before, so I might as well just snag this up before it gets snagged up, because people, sometimes don't think about it, that it'll be at GameStop for a while, and it feels like, definitely for me, like when I touch a game, it starts selling out and you can't find it nowhere. It's so weird. That always happens to me. So I was just like, let me snag this. But I still shop at GameStop. I got like about four of them that I visit from time to time. But yeah, I understand the frustration.
yeah. My frustration wasn't really with the store; it was with the employee that has been there recently, and it's just like, I don't know. I just need to avoid that person, I guess, because he was kind of rude. But I really like Mike and Lydia. They help me out a lot, and so I
Yeah.
always forget the other girl's name, and she runs a podcast that I listen to. She does a Nintendo podcast with her friends, and I always forget her name. Oh,
Sweet.
I'm sorry. We should have her on the show at some point. But uh, yeah, we've been running a little long. I know we said we were going to do a question block this episode, but we're just going to merge the question block and the N64 conversation into one show. So that'll be the show you'll listen to on Friday, and then we'll catch up on the week's news the following week.
Yes.
So, uh, Ed, why don't we wrap this up? Why don't
Yeah.
we had a lot of good news and discussion. I'm actually quite surprised.
Yes. We natural flow, natural
It's
discussion.
because
Yeah.
we're pros at this by now.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been podcasting long enough now that we we know what we're doing, and we like each other to a point, I think.
I I think I've been podcasting for 4 or 5 years. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's been 3 for me. So, Well, Ed, where can we find you on this great place called the internet?
So I'm gonna keep it brief. You guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code, and you guys can hear my podcast Optional Opinion on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast apps. Also on NGR Radio. So check out the Optional Opinion. It'll take you to SoundCloud. I don't have a new episode up just yet due to the fact that I'm sick at the moment, so I can't really do anything just yet. But I am getting ready for the video games. Hopefully, you guys will be checking that out. It is going to be starting the second week of September, and it'll be ending on September 30th, where a special guest who will be doing the eulogy, our very own Corey Derrick, will be on that first week talking about handheld. So please check into that
It was a
episode.
good
Um,
episode.
Yes, yes. And I'm going to have Corey back on for part two. I mean, we'll probably
Yeah.
ramble on, but I'm just like, I know we have a lot to say. And even if we get,
We didn't even get to really the bad stuff. We didn't get to talk about Game Gear really a lot. I mean, we did a little bit, but we didn't get to talk about
yeah,
Game Gear. We didn't get to talk about the Wonder Swan color, which was
yeah.
terrible. So it was a good episode
But
though, and I love coming on Optional Opinion because it's just like it's really focused, but then it's just like a good conversation about this really focused subject. And I love it.
yes.
I love it.
Well, thank you.
Everybody download Optional Opinion right now.
Ooh, I'm sorry. Last but not least, also check out Arsenal X. I hosted with Corey and with Jesse. This latest episode that you got that just came up. Me and Jesse were on the show talking about a lot of different things. So you guys should also check that out. Last but not least, check out my writings on ngrradio.com. Some of my reviews and blogs are up. I my latest one that I wrote talks about can one game still sell a platform's performance? Like, can the Breath of the Wild really sell what the Switch is all about? You guys should check that out and give it a read. Really good discussion. It's very weird on how that actually came about. I was at Larry's house, and he was just playing some chill like dance music, and that literally made me just want to write. And I'm just like, yeah, I could do this. So yeah, do check that out. And hopefully I'll be picking up Hellblade and picking up Uncharted, the DLC. I'm going to be trying to work on the Uncharted game to get that review up. And check out Jesse's White review on Hellblade. This might seem weird, but I'm going to be trying to come from a negative perspective for Hellblade, to see how it could be balanced. So it may sound weird, but you'll understand why I'm coming from that. But yeah, that's it for right now.
Nice. Yeah. Um
Yes.
Also, before I plug my stuff, Ed and I are planning something. Well, actually, the whole NGR crew is planning something. Uh, I'm I'm pretty excited about this daily thing that we're working on. Uh, it's
Yes.
it's gonna be an experiment. It's gonna be rough, but I think it's gonna be worth it. But
Yes.
we'll have more on that later. But you know, I think it's a good idea. And when I get back, we're also going to record the second half of the first season of Let's Pod and Play.
Yes.
So,
Hey, let's find a play.
I know you guys have been waiting for it. I've gotten some messages asking where it's at. I'm sorry, it's coming. I promise.
Yeah.
I promise it's
Yes.
coming. We've been very very busy and so but anyways, you can find me at Corey and UHD on Twitter. You can find me at Corey NHD on Instagram and Twitch. You can follow us on Facebook. You can join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Nintendo Power Block. Download us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Shout Engine. You know, you can find the show every Tuesday and Friday at 10 a.m. on your feed and on our YouTube page. Please subscribe to our YouTube. I'm working on some new stuff for the show while I'm on vacation. I know I'm supposed to be on vacation, but this is stuff I've been wanting to do and I haven't had time for it. And me being on vacation, I will have the time to do it because I'll be relaxing and get to design stuff and do some cool things. So uh,
Yay.
look for that. And I think that's it. You can email the show your questions at nintendopowblock@gmail.com. We want to answer your questions. So hope you're excited for Friday's episode because we're talking all about the Nintendo 64 Classic, and we have some questions from you, the viewers, to answer, which there's some pretty interesting ones, Ed. I'm excited. So thank you
Yes.
so much for watching, and until Friday, we love you.
Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
Gosh, Ed, you sound so sick. I'm sorry.